Now, leading figures in science have launched this year's summer school to try to get more children interested in STEM subjects. That's science, technology, engineering and maths. Professor Brian Cox and Lord Mawson are running the project in East London to encourage particularly those children who are not male, middle class or white to get involved. And Professor Brian Cox joins me now from his Science Summer School. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today. We have perhaps heard quite a lot about trying to get more girls interested in STEM subjects. So what is the main focus for you with this year's summer school?
Well, I should say this is the 5th year we've run the summer school here at St Paul's Way, and the idea is partly to enthuse the students, but you see from behind me here that they don't really need much enthusing actually. I always find that virtually anybody I talk to is interested in these big questions about, we've talked about life in the universe, the origin of the universe. So there's that, but also the most important thing is for the students who want to go on to careers, perhaps into university and beyond, then how do you do that? If you're from a family or an area where few people, if any, have gone to university that you know, then what you need is inspiration, yes, but there's no shortages of that, I find, but also information about how you do it. And the key thing here at St Paul's Way is we've got involved with the universities, with UCL and Queen Mary. They play a leading role all year round in this school. So these students have access to that information. And I should say it's worked. So this year in the A-level cohort, half of the students are going on to university to study STEM subjects, so science, technology, engineering and mathematics. So it works.
That's fantastic news. And how important is this, is getting children interested in these subjects for the future of the UK?
Well, I mean, it's fundamentally important for our economy. We know that that we don't have enough scientists and engineers coming through, but it's also important for these students personally and also for the area. I mean, we want to see these students, as they do, going into interesting high-skilled jobs. They want to do it, so there's no shortage of the raw material. It really is about them understanding that pathway through. It is easy if your parents have gone to university, many people from your school go to university, it's quite easy. If you're not in that position, it is more difficult. And so that's really the point of this summer school.
So it is about reaching out, it's about pointing them towards that pathway, showing them the steps to follow. They look like they're having fun behind you there, I should say.
Oh yeah.
I wonder what impact, if I can ask you this question about Brexit, what impact do you think Brexit is going to have on, students like the ones behind you, any others in the UK who are studying these STEM subjects? Because universities have expressed concern about the impact of Brexit on, the calibre of people who might want to come to the UK to get involved in these subjects.
Well, yeah, I mean, the first thing to say is we don't know what form Brexit will take yet. I mean, in science, there are many reasons why it's important for us. Our links worldwide, and with Europe in particular, are very strong. That yes, there's a lot of funding of order £1 billion a year that comes into research from the big EU funding programmes. I should say the Horizon 2020 funding programme is the biggest in the world, for example, and we're the biggest recipient of those funds. So that's important. But I think even more important is international collaboration, the fact that these students need to be able to work with colleagues in Europe. They need to be able to move with programs like the Erasmus program, which are designed to allow people to broaden their horizons and work with people from many different countries. So that the goal of the universities and the research community in any negotiations that go on in the future is to preserve those wonderful things that are absolutely essential for these students' opportunities, but also for our economy. So that's, I can't comment more than that because I don't know what form how those negotiations will pan out, but we're fighting very hard to protect the things that are very important to us as a scientific community.
And I just want to ask you a final thought, if you would, on the tiny probe Philae that has caught so many people's caught the imagination of so many people as it travelled through space attached to the surface of a comet, and ground controllers bidding a final farewell to it. Now it's the communication links have stopped with Philae. How important has that been, do you think, in capturing people's imaginations and encouraging them to think about science as a career?
Oh yeah, Philae, the first thing to say, the scientific results have been quite remarkable. A comet is pristine material from the formation of the solar system. So the things that we're learning, and we haven't analysed all the data by any means, are quite profound in terms of the origin of the Earth and the solar system. But I think you're right that that little lander sort of captured imaginations, and that's part of the reason that space exploration is valuable. It's not only the scientific data, but it's the fact that it inspires students like this. Britain is one of the big spaceship builders in the world. It's one of our big growth industries, and we don't have enough people in it, which is one of the reasons that we're at this summer school.
And that brings us rather neatly to a conclusion, full circle. Thank you very much, Professor Brian Cox, for your time today.
It's a pleasure.